What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike, full-time Amazon media seller. I'm probably a little person somewhere on the screen. You were really not worried about me today. Today we are going over my new RepriceIt settings. I've used RepriceIt since I started selling on Amazon over 5 years ago, and I've recently made some changes, so I thought it was time for an update video. So I'm going to cover everything that I exactly have set up, why I have it set up that way, and kind of give you guys a little bit of insight on all the settings, everything you can do. I'm not affiliated with RepriceIt. It's just one of those things where I used it early on. It worked best for me, and I like to always tell everybody, use the software that works best for your business. My sales over the last 30 days since I made these changes are the highest they've been. We're at 19, almost 19.5K for the past 30 days. So I kind of feel like it's time for me to put this out there. And listen, if you want to copy pasta me, that's a-okay. But I always tell everybody, make sure you do things that work in your business. No two business models are the same. If you're interested in making more money selling on Amazon, join the YouTube channel, $2.99 a month. We got weekly live calls, private Discord, and GoToLister monthly discount. So the membership pays for itself. So first screen you all see here is the pricing of this. You get a 30-day free trial when you sign up, and then it's based off how many items you have. So you can see I'm at the Merchant Plus level, which is 5,000 to 10,000 items. It costs me $30 per month. When do I think you need a repricer if you're brand new or maybe you've been selling for a little bit? I always like to tell everybody, once you have 200 active items at Amazon, it's probably time for you to get a repricer. So this covers the pricing, super easy to get enrolled to get your 30-day free trial. Now let's get to the dashboard. So this is the main page here that you want to look at. This is going to have your templates, as you can see here. So we will cover not the templates first, your schedules, right? So you got to have, this is automated. There's no coming in and doing this manually. It's automatically set up. So if you go to repricing schedules, you can set 20 different times. So you can go through, set whatever times you want, make sure it's active, make sure it's doing all of the templates. So you can choose any times you want, but make sure you have your schedule set up or it won't automatically do it for you. You also have exclude items. Say you're doing a little bit of thrifting, and I do think RepriceIt is best for the thrifting model. If you're doing like online arbitrage, eBay to Amazon, Amazon to Amazon, you probably need a little bit fancier software. But for us out there, maybe we have an item that we don't want it to reprice. You can just add the SKUs and it will not reprice those items. You can see I really am not adding a lot here often, but I have added what? 3 here recently within the past month. So you can come in and exclude items for being repriced if you're worried about it being tanked down or anything like that. Now let's get into the fun part of our actual templates. So we got 2 templates here. We're going to cover them both. So if you don't have these, you're going to hit create new template. So we're going to go in and look at the template for FBA. So you can name this whatever you want. I just call it FBA. Template order 1. This is just the order it does the repricing. It really doesn't have no effect on anything unless you're doing like a merchant fulfilled or something, or you got items cross-listed FBA and merchant fulfilled. This is for FBA items. So we're going to make sure we got FBA items only. Criteria, this is the important part, right? So what is the criteria for this template to actually work? I have it set up from 7 days to 180 days. So a week to 6 months is this first template we have set up. I feel like 7 days is enough for my items to get dropped off at UPS, and they're usually checked in within 7 days. So I don't want it repricing my items right away because I take the time to list and price them correctly using GoToLister when I initially list them. So I give them a week before the repricer will even touch them at all. Sales rank, we just got 1 all the way to the max, which is over 6 million. Every once in a while, you find a book that's over 6 million and we're going to send it in. Price range, 0 to 500 for me. I've never sold anything over $500. We got all of our conditions checked off for the FBA template, so we know that is good to go. We're going to go back to the dashboard. Now we want to look at what are the actual settings within that template. This is the important part. And every single one of these has a little question mark box next to it that explains it at length, right? So you don't need me to sit here and explain every single one of these. I'll cover the big ones, but all you have to do is hover over the question mark like you see here, and you will be able to know exactly what each box is, in related to. So new items against new items, yes. Use items against used. We're excluding acceptable. We're excluding just launch. Just launch is somebody that doesn't have any reviews, so they're probably not buy box eligible. We're also excluding crappy sellers with ratings below 70%. Minimum allowable price, different for everybody. Mine's is $11. So like I said, these are the items we just sent in. So we're not touching these, and they're not going underneath $11 for the first 6 months of it actually being there. Maximum allowable price is $299.99. Like I said, I really don't have anything that's priced that high anyway. The ones you don't want to have checked off, default price to minimum allowable price when below minimum. Say you're sending a lot of fast moving $8, $9, $9.99 items. You don't want to have this checked off because then it'll automatically raise those to your minimum of $11. The same with the maximum. You don't want to have this checked off. Now, maximum number of competing offers to compare against. I am in the business of selling things. A lot of you little buggers out there think it's cool to have 1 million items in inventory and $0 in your bank account. Well, everything you're seeing here, we are as aggressive as we possibly can be when it comes to being the lowest price to sell our items. I can't reiterate this enough. If you're not selling items, you're not making money. If you're not making money, you're not going to stay around. And if you do, you're just going to be wasting your damn time. So what you see here, these are my actual settings. Like, I want to sell everything I possibly can. One competing offer. I'm not waiting in line. And if it was if it was a 120-degree day, you're at the water park, right? And you're like 30th in line, or doing one person at a time. And they're like, hey, if you just give us 1 penny, we'll get you to the front of the line. That is the correlation of my repricing strategy. I'm willing to give pennies away so I can sell my items quicker. Just think about that, right? We don't want to wait in line. We want to sell these. 111, we're worried about. This is an important one right here. If the price of an item goes down more than this percent, do not reprice. If the price of an item goes up more than this percent, do not reprice. This is how you stop your listings from tanking. So if our item goes down more than 20%, if Joe Blow hops on the listing and decides they want to give their stuff away, this kind of protects us from the crazy people that don't know what they're doing and tanking the listing and tanking our item right along with it. So 20% I think is a good kind of spot to be at. Repricing modes, another super important one here. We are repricing against the buy box owner because we are buy box eligible. Now, if you are a newer seller or you're not buy box eligible in the category you're trying to get, then this needs to go to the lowest possible competing price, because that's the only way you're going to get sales until you become buy box eligible. But if you are buy box eligible, we're always going against the buy box owner. I don't mess around with intelligent repricing. I don't, the robots, computers, letting them control that stuff. I'm fine just undercutting the buy box. Do not reprice items with a sales rank above. We're not worried about that. Only reprice when an item goes up. We wish that was the case, right? Not on Amazon. Everything's going down. Never price above Amazon. We got that checked off. We're at least going underneath by 5%. Now, here goes the part where people have been yelling at me for 5 years, and most of them have gone bankrupt since. So, I guess their opinions really didn't matter much. We're undercutting by 1 penny. So 20 times a day on my 5,200 listings. If I have to, I'm dropping every single one of them by a penny. Now, I'll cover how many of your items are actually going to get repriced a little bit later in the video, but I promise you, undercutting by a penny will change your life. Stop waiting in line. Hey, Mike, why don't we hold hands and hopefully I'll get the sale. Maybe you'll get the sale, but it's cool. Are we running a business or a charity at the end of the day? So I've undercut since day one, and I've taken all the flack that comes along with it, and I'm going to keep undercutting until I go bankrupt, like everybody else who told me not to undercut by a penny did, but that probably won't happen, knock on wood. All right. Comparing FBA items only against FBA offers. And this is not merchant fulfilled. This one, upload my price changes to Amazon.com. I have to reprice, and that means they're actually going to upload the price changes. So that is our first template. Kind of business as usual. If you watch my video from like 35 years ago, it was basically the same thing. Now the change I made is for items that are 6 months plus. So long-term storage starts at 6 months. In my opinion, if I can't sell an item on Amazon in 6 months, undercutting the buy box 20 times a day, it's probably a dud, or something happened on the listing where the new offers came on, or somebody had 1,000 copies of whatever the item may be. So at 6 months, I want it gone. I want nothing back besides maybe the dollar that I put into the item, because there's no value in these items anymore, right? You give it 6 months on the largest platform in the universe. If it doesn't sell within 6 months, then clearly there's something going on the listing. Now everybody, well, what about the outliers, the slow movers? Okay, I'll give you that, but you can exclude those items from repricing altogether. But for 95% of the junk that's sitting in our inventory that's older than 6 months, clearly there's more people on the listing, it's below your minimum, so you got to make a change to kind of make this work. So I created this and said, hey, after 180 days, once day 181 hits, let's just fire sale, flea market, garage sale type prices. So we're going to look at the template here first. So we got it set up here, just name 6 month plus, FBA only. You look down here, now we're doing 180 days, right? So it's picking up where the other one leaves off. Up to 3 years, nothing will ever get to 3 years. Same thing with the prices and everything like that. So that's what our template looks like. Now we're going to get into the important part of our actual RepriceIt settings for this one. So there's going to be some changes. You're going to be able to see them right away. So we're not excluding acceptable offers anymore. So everybody that sends in, you know, their water damage books and lists them as acceptable, we're competing against them now. We're not excluding just launched, the newer sellers. We're including all sellers regardless of their rating. So that's kind of a big change, right? Those three changed right away. We're now like, hey, it's us against the world, right? Before it was just us against the other people that kind of had a clue. Now we're like, we're going against everybody, whether it's somebody has no idea what they're doing or what. Brand new sellers, we don't care. Another big change, buckle up, Buttercup, minimum allowable price, $6.49. Okay, well, everybody, Mike, are you gonna make any money on a book? Mike, you gonna make money on DVDs and CDs at $6.49, you're still gonna clear like $1.23. On books, it depends on the size and weight. Some paperbacks, you'll still make some. If it's a bigger hardback, maybe you break even, maybe you lose a little bit, but I promise you, you're better off selling it at $1 loss than paying to have your item removed by Amazon. If you don't believe me, go to your search bar in Amazon Seller Central, type in Amazon FBA removal fees. You will see it's scaled on the size and weight of an item. So a book that weighs 2 pounds is going to cost you over $2 to have it removed, sent back to you, whatever that may be. So you may lose $1 on the sale, but technically you're still saving yourself $1 if you got to remove that thing down the road. So that's my thought process with this. It's not exciting. We get our money up front. Right, so we send in our items, all the good stuff sells right away. Then we're just trying to nickel and dime the rest of it to kind of keep the cash coming into the bank account, keep sustaining our business. So this is not as scary as people make it out to be. And if I gave you $1 today, you could go spend that dollar better than you could 6 months ago when you sent in that crummy item that for some reason tanked and you had to sell it at $6.49. That is just the name of the game here. We're selling media. It's all about quantity at the end of the day. So for me, it is what it is. I want it going. I don't want to pay the storage fees, right? If you've been around Q4 storage fees on top of long-term storage fees, on top of storage utilization ratio fees, let me tell you, if you don't believe me, just leave all your stuff sit there, and when October hits, you'll be like, wait a minute, how much did I pay in fees? You can pay thousands and thousands of dollars a month in storage fees if you have a media business with thousands of items at Amazon. This will help you reduce your storage utilization ratio, get a little bit of cash coming back into the bank account, which you can better deploy today than you could 6 months ago. So I just gave like a whole presentation and trying to defend my $6.49. Listen, if you don't want to sell your stuff, A-okay. A-okay. We're still competing against one offer. Here we go. Another big one here. Remember our percentages that stop items from tanking? Well, they're gone. They're gone. We don't care. We don't care. No percentage is going to stop us. We're going to be the lowest FBA price regardless of whatever it may be. You see the repricing modes right underneath? Reprice at the lowest possible competing price. I don't care about the buy box. I want to be the lowest FBA price regardless. No percentage is stopping us. We're tanking everything. I'm single-handedly, and everybody in the Discord, if I can just calm them on, I'll tell you right now, right? We've had our call last month, our mastermind call, we covered this topic, and you know, you don't have to be as crazy aggressive as me, but I do see a little sparkle in some of your eyes, and some of you have gone ahead and actually implemented this template already and have seen results. So you don't got to get as crazy with me the 6 months, right? You can do 9 months in your template when you set it up the time frame. But I promise you, if you are aggressive with your pricing, items will sell and you will make more money. So lowest possible price. We don't care about percentages anymore. If we got an item at $100 and Johnny comes on the listing and he's selling it for $7 and ours has been sitting there for over 6 months, we are going from $100, ladies and gentlemen, down to $6.99. Buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride. But but it's really not that crazy. You'll be fine. Trust me, I promise. All right, pricing against Amazon, checked off. This time we're doing 10%. You know me, penny undercutting right underneath that. FBA, we're uploading that. So those are the templates. The only other thing I wanted to cover here is your actual repricing reports. So how much of your inventory should be repriced every time this runs? We're going to take a look here. I got around 5,200 items. How many of my items are actually repriced? 270. So somebody can run the percentage on that. It's not a lot. Not all of your items are going to be repriced every single hour because they should already be in prime position to sell, right? In theory, if all your items are being repriced every single hour, then somebody else is on every single one of your listings undercutting you. So out of our over 5,000 items, only 270 are repriced. It shows you the template, right? You should see small changes here and your price changes. Unless it's the first time you're running the FBA 6 months plus, because then you might see big fluctuations because these items have tanked. Everything else after they go a few times, you should only see, you know, something in the pennies, right? 1 penny, 2 penny. It shows you the template so you have an idea. And yeah, so not all of your inventory is going to be repriced, and that's a-okay. But you just want to make sure nothing crazy is going on after the first few times you run your actual repricing. That is basically it. I'm loving selling my old 6-month junk inventory, right? You guys seen my sales. I'm sitting here telling you it's the best sales month I've had. And if you're asking, Mike, well, are you making any money? Yes, I've had the best payouts over the past 30 days that I've ever had on Amazon. So I'm fully sold on this. You don't have to get as aggressive, right? One thing you could do is maybe for your 6 months, maybe it's 9 months, right? We had some people in the group. Rob said, hey, Mike, you're a psychomaniac. I don't want to do 6 months. I'll do 9 months. I said, hey, Rob, listen, that's probably the safer bet. But for me, I want it going. So what you can do here is instead of 180 to 3 years, you could go down to 270. But then you just want to make sure that your initial template is set up. Your FBA one is set up to go from 7 days to 270 as well. So you do have a bunch of different options you can mess around with, but I promise you, repricing aggressively will put more money in your pocket. We're paying $1.50 for these items, right? Let's double, triple our money, get back out, buy some better inventory, send in more inventory, grow your business. That's gonna do it for the video. I appreciate you watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more repricing videos in probably like another 5 years. I don't know. Bye-bye.